Okay. I just have to remember what I did before. Okay. We want to look at everything. Look at everything. All right, we got a dartboard. Let's look at it. In this journey up market, the Academy has made one concession to its humbler origins. A dartboard, the entertainment staple of any working man's pub, is available for patrons so inclined. Darts may be obtainable at the bar. Got a lush. I didn't actually want to talk to him. I wanted to look at him. The beaver hat, patent leather shoes, nasal whine, and signet ring mark this dolt more plainly than a quack suggests a duck. His sloppy stupor decisively proclaims that wealth and position guarantee neither taste nor discretion. Okay. What else have we got? A door. We got a poster. Copy of the popular advertisement once read, Bulldog's Bitters, the brew with a distinctive bite. It's better than tea. The hired hack had no imagination and an abysmally low opinion of tea. Look at Jack here. This denizen once glorified in pomade hair, wax mustaches, and custom-made clothing. His garments are now shabby, and he needs a shave. One hopes he supplements his liquid diet with the odd sandwich. The gold band that formerly encircled the ring finger of his bridge hand, is absent. So, I guess that means he's been, maybe divorced. Okay. Mahoney's flamboyant canary yellow cashmere coat lies carelessly crumpled in a spectator's chair. One cuff appears to have rested in a spittoon. Ugh. Brew Brumwell, who popularized trousers and fancy cravats, hangs above the fireplace. Intimate of the dissociate George IV, he is the patron of dandies, swells, and other flops who live by their wits rather than by labor. We have a rack. Gnarled, warped, and tipless cues fill the rack. Only a fool would use them with any expectation of success. This fine table was manufactured 50 years ago by Messrs. Thurston and Coy in Catherine Street. With care, it should last another half-century. A professionally printed handbill announces a holiday billiards expedition and competition at the Albert Hall. Jenkins would be in heaven. Okay, that's probably a good thing to know. Let's see what we got here. Barman. The outsized barman mumbles as he obsessively polishes glassware. A workman of uncommon dedication, he has proven himself to be a less than satisfactory source of information. Okay.
Attractive redecoration, but you've lost some of your humbler custom.
We continue to receive gentlemen of leisure and refinement who take pleasure in the joys of intelligent conversation and a game of skill.
Sounds like a magazine advert.
It is.
It is. What else can I talk to them about?
Not much by way of conversation around here, is there?
All a man could want. A surface even. Best friends I ever had.
You know Mr. Mahoney, then?
Who?
I did not mean to talk to him.
A large brandy, please.
With pleasure, sir. That'll be a shilling.
Okay. No more question. Okay.
Hello, Jock. Remember me? Not likely to forget a world-famous snoop, am I? I need a favour. Bad luck. I'm fresh out. Your marital affairs appear to have altered precipitously. What happened? My marriage is up the spout. I'll leave off before I stow this cue in your gullet. I assume you're still cock of the walk here. Would you like a game? Like you could give me one? No chance. I don't mess with amateurs. I'd pay for the privilege. Me? In your employ? Not bloody likely. I'm not good enough for you to play, and you won't help me get better. Not terribly sporting. Stuff sporting. You had your way with me last time you was here. Never again. That's unfair, Jock. I caused you no real harm, and your information helped apprehend a vicious murderer. End justifies the means, does it? You forced me to grass on a friend.
Wasn't that friend a murderer?
Do you prefer billiards or
Or he was an
snooker? Makes no
accessory,
difference.
that's for
I
sure.
prefer drinking at my local and a game of darts. But a bloke's got to earn his daily bread, or beer, as the case may be.
Talk to him anymore. So I met Maloney, I don't know, whatever his name is, in the first game. And I played him at darts, I believe.
Why is Mr. Mahoney in such a foul mood?
I deal drinks and darts, sir. Information concerning my customers cannot be purchased at any price.
The Metropolitan Police deal harshly with violation of the Temperance Act.
Which is supposed to mean what?
You're serving spirits to an inebriated person.
What was it you wanted?
Some civility for starters. Has Mahoney lost his wife?
In a way, she sailed off to America with the whole O'Shea clan.
Okay.
I'm sorry for his loss, but I need Mahoney's help. What can you suggest?
He's a hard man. Threats don't move him, and he doesn't care for money. Lost his appetite for pleasure. Doesn't even enjoy busting up a room or breaking a few arms like he did. Competition is all that keeps him alive. And beer, of course.
May I have the darts, please?
Will you be playing a serious game, sir?
You'll be the first to know.
No need to get shirty, I just work here.
Alright. I think I'm going to play him at darts again.
I'm sorry about your wife's decision. I hope she'll return. I doubt it, but keep a good thought.
Alright, I'm going to save it again. Just in case there's something. Billiards 2. Alright.
Might I stand you to a glass of stout? I only drink with friends. Like all good things in life, they appear to be in short supply. What's your point? Perhaps we could become numbered among those happy few. You could try. What about a game of darts, Jock? Now, why would I want to do that? The thrill of competition, the excitement of a bout. You could choose the game. And what's in it for you? The pleasure of your company. And a morsel or two of information if I win. You'll have to settle for me company. I toss a brilliant dart. Have to take my chances, won't I?
Didn't I beat him at darts last time? Wait, which one should I play?
How about a game of 301? Make it easy on yourself, Mr. Holmes. It's all the same to me. 301 it is.
Okay, so I get to pick the game. 301, 501 or cricket. I'm going to pick 301. Is it going to be the same as it was last time? Okay. It looks very similar. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, this is different. Okay. This is definitely different. $60! Oh, yeah. Alright. Not doing bad, not doing bad. $60! $60! That one's not going to be 60. Not bad, not bad. Alright. He's shooting for bullseyes. I'm shooting for 60s. Oh, okay. Alright, I can't do 60 anymore. I got 31. So I need, well, I can do a 20 and an 11. So maybe we'll try that. Okay, now I need a 15. Where's the 15? Over there. Oh, a 13. Okay, so now I need 2. Alright. And he needs a lot. Ah! Accidentally clicked off the game. Nope, I busted. Need 2. I need 2. I don't like needing 2. 2 is such a low number. I got it. I got it. Oh man, I thought I almost got triple. That was close. That was a close one. Alright. Did I get anything?
Care for another match, Jock? Amuse yourself, Mr. Holmes. Ask whatever you like. I believe you know Alfred Jenkins, Lord Lawton's man. Can he give you a run? At billiards? Alfie? In his dreams. It's very important that I impress him at the table, Jock. Could I give him a game? I didn't say he was rank. Alfie's got a good eye. Better stroke than most. But he's limited. No strategy. Sees nothing but the shot he's got. And you? I'm thinking 3 or 4 shots ahead. He thinks I'm lucky, but I know where the cue ball is going. I tumbled to a system. The diamond system? Exactly. I've been keeping mum, but lots of the lads have figured it out. Poor Alfie can't suss it. Will you show it to me? Will you show it to him? Probably. But can he master it on one viewing? And if he does, I suspect it would not put a player of your skill at a disadvantage. You're right, and a deal's a deal. Here's how it works. You just need a little knowledge and the proper tools. There you have it. That's the principle anyway. I see it. Most ingenious, Jock. Truly amazing.
Okay.
Any special tips for me, Jock? I hope I'm not doing the dirty on poor Alfie, Mr. Holmes. You having more advantages than most. But he's crazy to learn the diamond system. He'll open like an oyster to the man who shows it to him. Thank you, Jock. Hope I can return the favor one day.
Well, that was That was a change of heart. I beat him at darts, and suddenly he's, hey, you're my buddy. You're my friend. You're my buddy. Or something. Okay. Alright, I think we got what we need here. I can play him in darts again if I want to, but I don't really want to. So, let's go back to the Lawton place, and Lord Lawton, or whatever his name was, the game is afoot. I don't know if I'm going to beat him in billiards, or if I'm going to just talk to him about billiards.
Are you ready for our chat, Jenkins?
If you're ready to play, Mr. Holmes, let's not dally.
I was just admiring the room.
A faint reflection of its former greatness. Only a few nice objects remain.
Wait. Oh, that's the butler. I was like, wait, that kind of looks like... Alright. Save. Jenkins. Can I just talk to him?
Why have some of the house furnishings been allowed to deteriorate?
Want of money, of course. The present Lord's personal habits have impoverished us and ruined our reputation.
I'm sorry, Jenkins. It must be a sore trial for you.
Hey, Hunter. How is it going? The way he's holding that stick doesn't look right. Like, it just doesn't look right.
Is that Lawton's grandfather above the fireplace?
Great-grandfather, the first Earl, received the title from Wellington himself after Waterloo. He looked
I'm doing
rogue
quite
to
well.
me. A little rough around the edges, perhaps. Sailed close to the wind on one or two occasions, the truth be told. Still, compared to his leaden progeny, he was pure gold.
I hope you will not mind, Jenkins, if I observe that this room lacks a strictly personal touch.
Not at all. He's disposed of numerous heirlooms for ready cash. The family portraits provide all the individuality there is, and I believe he's trying to sell them. The music room is a bit more intact.
May we get started, Jenkins? Cut to the chase, as they say?
You're that anxious to have your clock cleaned, Mr. Holmes?
Not really. I told you what I knew of Mr. Pratt's death.
That got you in the door.
I'm just eager for more of your conversation.
Be eager then, even ardent. But you'd better play well if you want more time here.
Okay. Do I need to grab a stick, or can I keep talking?
We won't waste time with a match, Jenkins. I possess something you want.
I'm sure, but this is not about knowledge, money, or a nimble tongue. This is about billiards. Can you play?
I know the diamond system. I'll show you how it works. My price is fair dealing and plain conversation, and a look around the house.
Done. You are approaching divinity. I accept your terms. Show me now, please.
So, Jenkins, I assume I've met your standard of performance?
Very impressive, Mr. Holmes. I don't know where you learned it. They say even a blind pig finds an acorn from time to time. Well, Do your worst. I'm no welcher. Ask what you will, look at what you want. For the moment, you've got the run of the place.
I know. I mean, that's one shot. Oh, I understand it now. I get it. I understand everything about it. I mean, I don't think they wanted to explain it in the game, so they did what they did. Well, the idea behind the system is that you can control where the cue ball ends up. That was kind of the idea. It's not about getting balls in the pockets, it's about controlling where the cue ball ends up after you shoot it. So, that's what I got from the little explanation that I got of it.
The room must have once been quite lovely.
It was, Mr. Holmes. I've become quite weepy thinking about it. Now, please be brief. I'd prefer you were gone when Lord Lawton returns.
Lord Lawton has made false or evasive responses to my inquiries. Why?
Does he owe you money?
No. His prevarications may have dangerous consequences for you and every British subject.
This is how I see it, Mr. Holmes. He disguises the truth from himself as often as from others. Bad investments and gambling have exhausted his patrimony. To avoid bankruptcy, he's made a dreadful marriage agreement with a blue-nosed prig. He can't afford to lose this grotesque prospect. So concealment is the emblem of his life, and he has much to hide. Dubious friends, disgusting habits, dismal relationships, the gamut of youthful indiscretion and aimless turpitude.
So he may have a guilty secret. Or having no secret, he may have lied by habit. Or lacking the real article, he may think that the truth can be converted into money at a later date.
Exactly. Not much help, but true.
Okay, so his line could be money related. To sell information. Could be wanting to sell information. So he's lying so that maybe the information becomes more valuable later. Okay, that makes some sense, I guess. That makes some sense. Alright, what else can we do?
Do you have the key for this album, Jenkins?
I do not. Those are his lordship's private snaps, Mr. Holmes.
Someone has already violated that privacy. Note the marks around the lock. I wonder what he found.
Perhaps I won't delve too deeply into your intentions.
That would be best.
So he's just basically letting me ransack the place. Okay. Let's see if I can use the habit. Unlock. Not carpets. I don't want to unlock the carpets. Unlock the album. Seems like a legitimate thing to use. Better the needle. Did it work? Did. Okay. Cool. Photographs and... Whoa, what's that? Daguerreotypes of Lord Lawson and his friends, several of whom are young women, are arranged in the album. The last page shows traces of glue in the corners, but the picture is missing. Kind of implies maybe he didn't have the key.
Are these all of Lawton's photographs?
That's the lot. His lordship's not a sentimental man. Keeps only a few mementos and souvenirs and rarely looks at those.
The photo from the inside of the back cover is missing, Jenkins. Do you recall it?
Invading Lord Lawton's privacy is not among my duties.
You never saw the photograph while you were cleaning? Or perhaps he showed it at a gathering.
I may have seen it once, by chance. It was the portrait of a handsome female person. He has many of those, but this was different. I believe I've seen the lady, but I can't recall where, I'm sorry.
Seen her where? In the house?
No, never. It's a guess, but it may have been in the newspaper.
Oops. What to do? Well, I will save it. While I'm here, I'll save it. So, interesting description of a handsome... I have a picture of someone. No, can't look at it. I mean, I can look at it, but I can't show it. Newspaper, photograph. Let's see, the photograph. Missing photograph from newspaper, question mark. Okay. Sherlock can definitely pick locks. Let's look at the portraits. I've already seen these, so... Study. Did I get to do that last time? I don't remember studying the music. The source of Elizabeth's transcription of the Paganini etude and the violin part of a Mozart sonata are heavily annotated. The violinist appears to be experiencing difficulty with both pieces. Okay. Play. I like how I'm going the long way around instead of going the short way. Ugh. Sounds awful. Can I play it again? That is awful. Can I talk to Jenkins about that? Ugh. Sounds disgusting. It's a nice looking piano, but it sounds awful.
When was the piano last tuned?
Someone came from the studio just the other day.
Did you watch him work?
Of course not. I heard him from the billiard room, but I don't think he left the piano except to let himself out. Couldn't have been here more than 30 minutes.
Did he leave an invoice?
Now that you mention it, he didn't leave anything.
Then I'd bet the manor that he took something away. Has anything gone mysteriously missing?
Not that I've noticed.
We have a missing picture? Okay. Piano tuner stole items. Photo. Okay.
Why have some of...
Wanted...
No,
I'm sorry,
I
Jenkins.
already did that one. I already did that.
Who accompanies Lord Lawton when he plays?
Of late, it's Lady Lockridge, and a company puts too good a face on it. Catterwall is closer to the mark. Sometimes I have to leave the house for the cacophony.
What is Lady Lockridge to Lord Lawton?
Lady Cordelia Lockridge is, as she always says, his affianced.
The late Lord Cecil's daughter? Lives on Wilton Crescent in Belgravia.
The same, and her disagreeable pedigree is unmistakable. A simple sighting or sound from her mouth bellows her genealogy.
Man.
These selections may be too difficult for Lady Cordelia. I know from experience that Paganini is formidable.
Mary had a little lamb exhausts the woman's skill. She has no ear nor rhythm, but don't tell her. She chose the pieces, and now mastery is a matter of pride. She's that stubborn.
Do they practice?
Constantly. Between arguments, they've had hard words over her interpretations. She's getting desperate, and in the end, that's bad for him.
Okay. I think I got a new location. Let's talk to Watson.
Perhaps we should return to 221B for reflection.
I'm sure I could use some refreshment.
Okay. Well, does that mean I'm done? Okay. I'm going to use it as a clue that I'm done. Go back to our place. Maybe there's a scene or something that goes on. We talk about a newspaper, so let's talk to him.
Any suspicious persons hanging about, Jonas? Witnessed any dubious activities?
None but the usual suspects, Mr. Holmes. As for questionable actions, I received a tip from old Lady Simpkins. The first in at least a decade.
What? Oh, a tip. A tip. I was thinking a tip is in like a...
What are you up to, Wiggins?
Perfecting me education. Care to donate to the cause?
I've no time for jokes.
Then you've no use for me. My life's a joke. A bad one.
I'm sorry I was rude, Wiggins. Stay near, won't you? I'm sure I'll need your assistance.
Okay, let's go inside. See if there's anything to do in here. Nope, doesn't look like it.
I wonder if friend Farthington knows the disparaged solicitor Bledsoe.
Because they've both been called to the bar? I would think it highly improbable. Farthington never had much of a practice.
Lawton said Bledsoe kept chambers at Gray's Inn. Farthington lives there. He's just the gentle sort to befriend an outcast.
Interesting. I'm gonna go. I got a new. I got
Let's be off, Watson.
I'm no tracking.
I think I got a new location, so I want to check it out. I might have gotten two. New location. If I get a new location, I want to check them out. Even though it told me to come back here, I don't see a reason to come back here. So I am going to. I don't have anything to test. I don't have any new lab stuff. I don't have anything. There's nothing I need to get. But I do have a new person that I can talk to. That would be Lady Lockridge, who is a... Let me see if I have any other new places. I also have the Ministry of Defense. Have I been there? No, I haven't been there yet. Lady Lockridge's top... I been there yet? I don't know. I can't remember. I've been there. Okay, let's go here. Let's continue on this lead and see what happens. We'll continue on the lead I'm on.
Milady will receive you following her offering to the musical deities. Please give her a moment to compose herself. Oh, she's most vexed, as they must be from the sound of it.
Oh my god. Ugh. Ooh. I like how I'm just looking through her stuff. Let's just look through her stuff while she's playing. She seems to be pretty distracted. These uniformly hideous ivory cameos may represent Lockridge family members. Their unflattering presence confirms the commonplace that there is no accounting for taste. Oh, she's gonna stop. Look at her. Yeah, that was torturous right there. Lawton's intended is expensively dressed and heavily corseted. She has an aquiline nose and not as much fair hair as she might. The very image of a high-born hauteur. She may have a whalebone backboard beneath her chimney. Man, lots of big words that I don't know. Let's talk to her.
We have interrupted your practice session, Lady Lockridge. My apologies.
I will not satisfy your vanity, Mr. Holmes, by asking how you knew what I was doing. What do you want?
Civility would be welcome.
I had hoped your uninvited visit would be a pleasant interruption for my battle with Mozart. Alter your tone and my girl will show you the door.
What? Damn.
Might I say your decorator was inspired, Lady Lockridge? Did he take guidance from you?
Followed my instructions to the letter. As it happens, I have impeccable taste. I could have been a designer if it weren't below my station.
Ooh.
Felicitations are in order, I believe. You are affianced to Lord Lawton?
He has that honor. Your visit concerns him.
I'm investigating a sensitive matter which came before his ministry committee. Lawton was unable to assist me. I thought you might be able to help.
An official investigation? Has he done something improper or dishonorable?
Lord Lawton is not the object of my investigation. I currently have no allegations to bring.
His reputation cannot stand a single sniff of scandal. I won't hear the hint of one in my home. If you have no accusations, the subject of Lord Lawton is closed.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh. The most distinguished of his family of master craftsmen. His instruments are renowned for their superb tone and brilliance. One of his violins leans against the settee.
What a superb instrument. A Guarneri, isn't it?
To a true artist, The instrument is but a tool. Do you play, Mr. Holmes?
I dabble, Lady Lockridge. Unlike yourself, my meagre talent cannot conceal my incompetence.
I'm sure it cannot. But I was not always a master, Mr. Holmes. The musical bounty you hear now is the
master.
fruit of arduous practice. Do likewise, and you may one day hope to approach my ability.
I'll look forward to that.
Okay, let's see what else I can look at. I thought that might give me a dialogue. Let's look at the music. What's she playing? The Paganini etude is heavily annotated in a feminine hand. The musician is experiencing great difficulty with the piece. The Italian master's diverse tunings called scordatura and use of triple stops have broken the spirit of many would-be virtuosi. Okay. We have a piano. We'll look at that. The grand piano, manufactured locally by John Broadwood and Company, enlivens the room. Several framed photographs sit on a piece of chintz draping, which protect the walnut cabinet. Well, there's some photographs, so let's look at those. Pointed those out. Oh, the room scrolls further. The family resemblance is discernible in the photographs, which sit on the piano and mantel. It is not an attractive clan. One of the pictures shows a grim Lady Cordelia with her affianced. So it's got one of Lord Lawton. Oh, and it's got a specific. So look at the photo. Except for the distinctly guilty smirk on Lawton's face, the couple exhibits no personality or feeling. Rather, they gaze inanimately past one another. Given the inconvenience and expense of hiring a professional photographer, one would have expected a better imitation of affection. Let's see if we can examine it. Doubtless the photographer who possessed this joyless pair felt justified in overcharging for his services. Lady Lockridge's choice of frame conceals his name, which is artfully engraved in the corner of the photograph. Okay. Oh, here comes Watson. What's he doing? Watson. I don't know. I don't know why Watson moved.
You are a rare and flexible musician, I perceive.
Given my technique, I would have been a superb pianist. But my inspiration is consumed by the violin.
You must favor us with a selection. I'm sure Dr. Watson would think real music a wonderful change.
Those who possess the gift must share it with the less fortunate, Mr. Holmes. Noblesse oblige. And I would play for you now, but my energies are currently devoted to mastering a troublesome Paganini etude.
Another time would suit.
But as you press so fervently, I shouldn't like to disappoint you. Perhaps a little Paganini, as you insist.
No, wait. Ah.
I can't think what's wrong with this instrument. It doesn't seem to care for Paganini. You must excuse me. I have to return to my etude.
A lovely photograph of you and Lord Lawton, if I may say so.
You may, though it doesn't really show me to advantage. It marks the agreement to ally our houses. Lawton's very pleased with his. Doubtless you saw it in his music room.
That would probably be the picture that was missing. Picture of Lawton and Lockridge. Why would somebody have stolen that? I don't know why somebody would have stolen that. Company.
Perhaps it would help if I played Lord Lawton's part.
It might. You couldn't play worse than he.
Well, that was better.
You see, it's a hodgepodge.
I mean, that was better. Right?
My hat, Lady Lockridge. You've set yourself two very difficult pieces. All will be well with time and practice.
I doubt it, Mr. Holmes. Far from well. My artistic soul has been vexed and discommoded. I am displeased. The Mozart is merely challenging, but the Etude is a heartache. Either Paganini was a fool, or he has been erroneously transcribed. There are simply too many notes. This piece is entirely unplayable.
Might I presume to offer my assistance?
I can't imagine how you might help.
If I may borrow the score, I shall return.
Take it, by all means, before I rip it to shreds.
Okay. The heck can I do with that? I feel like I'm supposed to do something. What am I supposed to do?
Can you identify that odor, Watson?
The unmistakable scent of wretched excess.
Moralizing aside, if you please. Is it some sort of camphorated oil?
Incense, I think, to impress the arbiters of bad taste or disguise a fouler smell.
I'd rank it somewhere between a sick ward and a low-rent perfumery. I sense resistance. Do you suppose she will not assist us?
I wouldn't be surprised if her manners were as abominable as her decor.
Purple appeals to some people.
The colour scheme does not signify. It's the ostrich feathers and the marble pots and the ostentatious use of gold leaf that I abhor. The sooner we vacate these premises, the better.
Something you'd like to hear, Watson?
Perhaps one of your own compositions, Holmes. But mind you do justice to the difficult sections, if you take my meaning.
Perfectly apt and instantly grasped, Doctor. Watson, let's retreat.
What she needs is a music teacher.
I intend to supply the need, though my hearing is excellent. This looks like an engagement photo. I didn't see one at Lawton's.
I expect he has one, if only to display when she comes around.
We may not have exhausted his collection.
Okay. So he likely didn't display it. Okay, so we've got something. I don't know what to do. What do we do? I know that Holmes plays the violin. I remember seeing some music at this house somewhere. Let's talk to Wiggins and the newspaper guy. Oh, look at this.
I have a mission for you, boy. Small chance of success, but the game is worth the candle.
Nice to be needed, sir. What's the job?
Find a man, thick-set, tall, fair, and bearded, perhaps a blemish on one cheek, maybe wearing a dark cape and slouch hat over country clothes.
A gentleman. Eye colour, age, habits.
Unobserved. Confine your efforts to Trafalgar and the embassies, and be careful. At the very least, he keeps dangerous company.
There he goes. I don't know why I had to wait until now to ask the question. I feel like I could have asked that at any point in time, but because I had a description way back when. Have you seen Wiggins? I just sent him off. Okay. Well, let's go in here, see if we can find maybe some music to deal with whatever we got. Okay. No music here either. My violin's in my bedroom. So I assume that's where the music is. Yeah. Let's see what's in here. This is where my wax cylinders. I have music. Get it. Numerous original compositions are scattered about the premises. They have not been kindling on the slim chance that posterity treat them better than the current generation of music critics have done. Okay, I think that's what all this is. Where's my... I could have sworn my... Oh, maybe my violin isn't in here. I thought it was in here. Is it in my inventory? Maybe it's in my inventory. Oh, no. Is that right? Violin. No? Huh. Well, I don't know where it is. Let's look at these. Look. Modest collection of recently improved by Lady Hadley's performance of Hoffman's Barcarolle. Look. Modest collection of recently improved was recently improved by the acquisition of some Scarletti Aris interpreted by Strassi. Modest collection was improved by the purchase of this performance. Oh, this is the music that we're looking for. Okay. Let's play it. How should it sound? Frank? Okay. Oh, there's my violin. It is in here. Okay. What do we want to do? Oh, practice. Let's look at. Let's look at. Oh, it's a Stradivari. So Sherlock ripped somebody off. Oh, so I took the music. Okay. The master has asked for a higher tuning on a conventional bowed. It sounds off key. Conventionally bowed, it sounds off key. A small embellishment may be required for Milady's armor prop to accept her simple air. Okay, so what do I do? Can I do anything? Do it again. I like how I just look at the music. And then just play it. I don't put it in front of me or anything. I'm just like, okay, and now I play it. Okay, I think maybe I just need to tell her about it. Let's remove that. Yeah, Sherlock is kind of like a waiter or waitress who doesn't like want to take your order, or doesn't want to write down your order at a restaurant. Okay, let's go back to her place. I said I found some sort of mistake or something, or I have a...
Come along, Watson. The game's afoot.
Sherlock is super brainy. So, you know. Well, Wiggins isn't back, so that's I guess probably good. Okay, let's go back here. Where is she? Right here. Let's talk to her. Oh, we have to hear this again? Okay, walk. Get over here. Get over here. There we go. Stop it. Man. That's really difficult to listen to. Talk.
Lady Cordelia, I may have discovered where Paganini went wrong.
Indeed? I knew it. Show me. I must know his wicked folly.
The etude requires a very unorthodox fingering. It's quite bizarre, most eccentric. It violates every convention a master like yourself could be expected to observe.
Show it.
Okay, what do I do? Oh, I can play it.
May I?
Okay.
The transcriptor is a torturer and an idiot. I told Lawton at least a dozen times it had to be wrong. I'd like to wring his neck. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. for pointing out the error of his ways.
The error of his ways. The error of his ways. Oh, man.
Might you now tell me, my lady, why Lord Lawton has been reluctant to speak with me?
Caution, Mr. Holmes. Simple prudence. Lord Lawton is on a very short tether. The peccadilloes, financial encumbrances, and legal obligations of his past meet me everywhere in town. He must avoid untoward entanglements of any sort or imperil his marriage prospects. He may regard you as a threat to his expectations.
But I bear him no ill will. I intend him no harm.
I dare say. But the road to oblivion is paved with good intentions. You are trouble incarnate, Mr. Holmes. Troubles employ you. They nurture you. And I'll wager you almost always leave trouble in your wake. Now, I must practice. You can see yourselves out.
What can you tell me about Lord Lawton's man, Jenkins?
He's too forward by half, for starters. Lord Lawton allows him to play billiards, for heaven's sake. A prescription for encouraging a servant to get above himself.
Perhaps they enjoy the competition.
Nonsense. It's an unhealthy passion. I've told Jenkins that his behavior is unseemly. He continues to spite me. When we combine households, he'll be looking for work, sans references.
Well, I'm sure Jenkins doesn't want to deal with that. So, did I find something on this photo? I feel like there was something about this photo that was important. Oh, now I have an inspect. Is that new? I thought I had an examine, and now it's an inspect. I'm actually able to pick it up and look at it. A slight but awkward manipulation of the frame renders a portion of the photographer's garnish signature visible. He is someone Hargrove Esquire.
Lady Lockridge, who is Mr. Hargrove?
Discovered a secret, have you? I suppose you've earned it. Edward Hargrove, Mount Street, is the demi-monde's current darling. Dubious clientele. Persistent, disagreeable rumours. But Lawton insisted. And he did a good job. Still, a woman of my standing and position can't afford to be associated with such a person. He's not unimpeachably respectable.
I don't like her. I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to like her. Okay, so we got his photograph taken at this place. Alright. I don't see how that's relevant, but okay. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing now. There's the studio. See if Wiggins has anything for me. Oh, Wiggins is back.
Any suspicious persons hanging about, Jonas?
None but the usual suspects, Mr. Holmes. As for questionable actions,
Okay.
Have you seen the man I described to you, Wiggins?
Not dead, sir. I may have done.
Report, please.
I seen a likely bloke on Whitehall, taking in the sights he was. When he jumps in a cab on the Strand, I follows, but I lost him in the crush where the Kingsway meets Aldwych. I just got the one glance, and he slid past me. Sorry, Gav.
Not to worry. Keep your eye out for him.
It was 1 and 6 for the cab.
Okay. Wait. What's happening? Oh, I have to pay him. Okay. Okay. Now I think we should go to the photographer's place, I guess. I feel like look at these. Oh, I can buy a newspaper. Okay, that's new. That's new. Okay, because that photograph was potentially from the newspaper.
The Telegraph is finally running Friedman's articles on terrorism.
He's learned to moderate his tone, then? I don't defend cronyism, Holmes, but I don't wonder the government distrusted him. He has an incautious and very sharp tongue.
More importantly, Watson, he has a very sharp mind. We may have need of his wide experience before this is over.
I know you respect him. That's certainly enough for me.
Oh, well, let's save. Alright. What do we got in our inventory? We now have a newspaper, I assume. Is it at the end? Yes, it is. Look. All of the world's ephemeral objects, a newspaper is arguably the most serviceable. I still have the sheet music. Apparently I never gave it back. That's great. I helped her and then I said, oh, well, I'm gonna keep the music, I guess. Okay. Which lead should I follow? The photo lead? Or the newspaper lead? I'll go with the newspaper lead. It was the first one I got. The newspaper lead was the first lead I got, I think. I think it was. Because there was a photograph. That seems more. It also seems more relevant. Who took the photograph? But it doesn't seem as relevant as the potential photo that was stolen from his photo book. Maybe he's trying to erase something that happened in history that he did that might point to a motive or something. Okay. See, got here. Study, like it. The drawings are especially good and wonderfully detailed. Some are in sets of 2 or 3, showing the same face at different times of the subject's life. Faces of numerous continental villains are depicted variously in pen and ink drawings, pencil sketches, and photographs. A large orthomorphic projection of Europe is based on Flemish cartographer Gerhard Mercator's principles. The map indicates national boundaries as of 1870, which is to say that it is wildly out of date. Door. Another door. It's a door. Opaque glass prevents a degree of privacy while allowing a modicum of illumination to penetrate from this room into the dusk that distinguishes Friedman's office. That's Friedman. Oh, so, okay. So we're in his office now. Okay. Portrait gallery and small posters. Examine that. He's got a bunch of paper on the floor, too. Okay. A small portrait appears to be a short hybrid form. The photographed subject appearance has been somewhat altered to be fine artistic hand. Friedman has pinned up assorted photographic portraits. The maligned Parnell, the anarchist Prince Kropotkin, and Netschwe, philosopher and confirmed a lunatic, are recognizable. One small portrait is arresting. Arresting? Okay. Whole thing. Papers. Those. Friedman consumes printed material like a gourmand devours comestibles, often in quantity and to excess. Quality is a marginal concern. The sensational stories from the illustrated weeklies in several languages are as suitable fare for his voracious appetite as the Queen's calendar from the Times. Papers, more papers over here. Got a, is that Spike? What the heck is that? Spike.
Watch it, Holmes. You'll hurt yourself on the sharp bits.
Read. His spike demonstrates newly discovered discretion. Rejected stories are no longer destroyed in a fit of pique. In this current lot are a too vigorous defense of the uncrowned King of Ireland, a virulent condemnation of the Nyroniki. They'll be revised and mellowed to live another day. Okay. For his foray into journalism's region, Friedman has set a record for killed stories, having been impaled so often on his editor's judgmental spike has made him a bit more cautious, a bit less caustic, and much more cynical. We got an ashtray. An inexpensive gray glass ashtray overflows with ashes and ends from his Dutch-style cheroots. They cannot conceal the fact that it has not been washed since Friedman left government service. Let's empty it. It is not obvious that any true improvement in the room has been achieved. That's funny. Typewriter. Okay. Let's talk to him. Oh, let's look at him first. Always look at people. Late of the Home Office, Friedman quit the Queen's service for cause. A deserved promotion went to an incompetent colleague with better connections. His muckraking columns in international affairs are drawn from his experience with continental miscreants of all stripes. Now let's talk.
Hello, Charles. We're not interrupting.
Just finishing up, Sherlock. How's your brother? Dreadful accident. Coming round, is he?
Out of immediate danger, thank you. You remember my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson?
Of course. Hello, Doctor. Make yourselves comfortable in the loosest meaning of the word. I'll be with you in a moment.
Is this profusion of papers really necessary? Place is a fire hazard.
Impossible to have too many papers.
Watson is always at me to cut down on my consumption.
One should never be without a fresh newspaper. No item is more serviceable. Absorbs grease from fish and chips, wraps garbage or lines a threadbare coat. Use it as a towel, a fan, a sunshade, an umbrella, a dustpan, a carpet, and if worse comes to worse, heaven forfend, you can always read it. Help yourself to the Telegraph. It's hot off the press.
Your argument is exhausting, if not compelling.
I just got a newspaper. Just got a Did I get a second one? Do I have 2 newspapers now? No, I have. Okay. Okay. Alright. What's next?
You've assembled a remarkable group of character portraits.
They are open, if slightly smeared, windows onto our capricious times.
I keep a collection for similar purposes, mostly criminal subjects.
And the small posters are my rogues exhibit, villains all.
The portrait of Kropotkin is revealing.
Admirable man. His major weakness is prophesying war every next fortnight.
Even anarchists need a hobby, I suppose. I'm trying to identify a man, Charles. Might I explore your memory?
You can try. I assume your inquiry is confidential?
Acute as ever. The man figures somehow in the murder of a civil servant. Secrets of state are at risk.
What does he look like?
I've never seen him, but one who did says he's thickly built, fair, with a small discoloration on his bearded face, perhaps a birthmark. He was wearing a dark slouch hat and cape, and he speaks German.
Language is not decisive. He could be German, Austrian, Prussian, Hungarian, Polish, even Russian. Anything else?
Regrettably, no. The witness' vantage point and the lack of light made expression and gait unremarkable. He couldn't even guess at his age.
No one springs to mind, Sherlock. Or rather, 10 men do, but are they in England? Is he a criminal, a secret agent, a diplomat? With so little to differentiate them, I'm useless, I'm afraid.
With such meagre details, my hopes were not high.
Give me particulars, man, then maybe I can help. Or if not me, someone I know.
Do you still have associates whom you trust at the Home Office?
Ah, you suspect the involvement of a foreign power, don't you? Yes, I was thinking along those lines myself. Listen, when you discover the man's identity, I can introduce you to someone who might help.
Thank you, Charles.
A pleasure to see you, Sherlock. You're always onto something intriguing.
Okay, this guy is, seems very helpful.
Have you heard anything about terrorist involvement in the Diogenes explosion?
Not a whisper. It was an accident, certainly, wasn't it?
To say I hope so would be as unseemly as it would be insincere. But if you've heard nothing, let it be.
Okay. I'm not apparently commenting on that.
Is this profusion?
Impossible to...
Watson is always...
One should never be...
Your argument is...
No, I don't want another newspaper! Ah! Wait, a time waster. Now I have 3 newspapers. Can I hit the number on the dialogue option that I want instead of clicking it? Well, let's find out.
Have you had more thoughts
I
about
can.
my subject, Charles?
I rather expected a mugshot for reference. By the way, are you certain he wears a beard?
According to my source. This small portrait is distinctive. Who is it? Or more to the point, what is it?
Well observed. That was and may well be Louis Baptiste Gautier, the terrorist absconded from the Paris cells without a trace in 1857.
Very interesting. An artist has introduced age to the image of the younger man's face, so he might be recognized if he reappeared.
Exactly. My artist drew on the old picture and then photographed his work.
He's a clever craftsman, your artist. Who is he?
Nigel Hemmings, illustrator and portrait artist by training, first rate. No one would buy his painting, so he took up photography.
That's interesting. So I might potentially, he may potentially be able to draw me a sketch.
The posters are very well drawn. Same artist?
Yes, Hemmings says the American police call them mug shots.
Peculiar expression. Some of these must be extrapolations from old photos, adding beards and wrinkles and so on.
Yes, and others are subjects I've seen and described. With a first-person account, he can age a man, get his expression right, that sort of thing.
Scotland Yard could benefit from his skill.
You're right, of course, but would they? I heard Lestrade say Bertillon's system of criminal identification was a bunch of foreign nonsense. He takes so badly to new methods.
Don't I know it?
Ah, okay.
Might I have young Hemmings' address?
He's a staff photographer for the Standard.
I would prefer a less public audience.
Oh, yes, of course. You can often find him in his garret at 14 Montague Street, just across from the British Museum.
Alright, we're gonna go there. So I think what we can do is get a sketch. Use him as a sketch artist. Okay. I think that's what we're gonna do, and then we can draw. We can draw the bearded man. Maybe show the photograph back to him. That would be here. Show the photograph to him, and he...
Mr. Holmes. I've heard of you. I'm just drawing this film with you in Alphamo.
Though no more than 20, Hemmings appears self-assured and resourceful, surrounded by the tools of his art and avocation. He is at ease. The high ceiling of his domicile suits him. He's at least 6.5 feet tall. Okay. There we go. There we go. My gosh, come on. Can I talk to him yet? There we go.
I saw your work at Friedman's. It's exceptional. Would you make a mug shot of someone for me?
Simple as pie. Let's start with a facial shape. Round, oblong, heart-shaped. You get the idea.
I've actually never seen the subject, just heard him described.
Not enough, Mr. Holmes. Without a witness, I can't do better than a caricature. You can't keep me to rights, you see. Tell me the nose is too wide and such like. I'm sorry.
Alright. So, let's see if we can find the witness. Whom I said I was never going to bother him again, but, let's see if he gives me any,
I need your help, Mr. Needham. Will you come with us, please?
Why this time?
A picture artist needs you to describe the man you saw at the Needle. The third man. I wouldn't expect you to do it for free.
Oh, that's all right then. A commission, like. As long as the brute don't know it's me what described him, he had a dangerous aspect.
Okay.
Brought the eyes, have you? Be right with you.
Alright, alright. Alright, here we go. He's gonna pick up his thing. He did last time. No.
This is Mr. Needham. He has seen the person I want drawn.
Excellent. You and I will get busy. Perhaps you'll occupy yourself, Mr. Holmes.
Needham, please describe the gentleman you saw in profile at the embankment. The third man.
I can't add nothing to what I already told you, Mr. Holmes.
A tall man with an unkempt beard and a stain of some sort on his left cheek, correct?
That's him.
Perhaps you could give us a moment alone, Mr. Holmes? We'll put something together.
Oh, sorry. Of course. I'll look about, shall I?
There's a cat. I just noticed there's a cat. Cat. Hey, it's a sketch. Got something. Cat. Pet the cat. I can pet the cat. Yes. Oh, I get a cat noise. Cat seems to like that. Sounds of contentment emanate from the capacious throat. Yeah, look at the cat. The calico weighs no less than 2 stones. The tiger at Regent's Park is a close relation. Though her eyes are languid, her tail is active. Move, cat. What does that mean? I don't know. Let's talk to the guy.
How would you evaluate Needham's powers of observation?
Acute. He was clear on the facial structure and proportions, cast of the eyes and position of the ears. There are some problems, but we muddled through. Wonder if the stain is a scar.
That's an intriguing thought. May I take the drawing with me?
Of course. Hope it helps.
Nice. Nice. Just keep talking to him. Anything else I can add?
You've a rare talent, Mr. Hemmings. Why not earn your living as a painter?
My art's called unsuitable on Bond Street, Mr. Holmes. People don't want to look at what I paint, let alone pay for it.
So you've settled on photographs.
I'm resigned to it. My photos of accidents and domestic disasters pay the rent. They give me the time for my work.
That makes sense. Okay, let's see what we can look at. The celluloid. Look at that. We're gonna look at everything. Let's look at everything. Thin, flexible strips of celluloid are clipped to a string. These strips are presumably the product of a camera that uses roll film. Ooh. Got an electric light. Ooh. Electric light. Fancy schmancy. An incandescent bulb covered with red cellophane, connected to and powered by an Edison-style storage battery. Okay, we have a sink. This looks like a dark room. This looks like a dark room. Sink. This galvanized iron sink could supply water for drinking, washing, and shaving, or if not, filled with 2 square pans containing liquid washing. Yes, this is a film developing thing. One pan contains a not completely odoriferous chemical with an alkali base. The other contains a water solution for stabilizing and fixing a photograph. Yep, that's what I thought. Taste seems like a bad idea, but the frowsy chemical developer is sodium sulfate. Okay. Picture. These. I'm going to click move the cat at some point. All the photographs, line drawings, and paintings show a strong sense of composition. Irrespective of the medium, the artist is a talented portraitist. One startling photo shows the late Prince consort shaking hands with Hemmings himself outside the British Museum. Okay, Dr. Watson, camera, look at that. The bolus camera has double-plated magazine carriers, an adjustable aperture lens, improved gelatine dry plates, allowing photographers to use it out of doors. This is currently fixed to a tripod for studio work. Interesting. Let's talk to him. See if we have any other dialogue options.
Do you mix your own chemicals and develop your own film?
Just my private snaps. I mix up an alkali developer in the sink.
What mixture do you use?
Phenol is a reducing agent, sodium sulfite to control the rate of development, and a pinch of potassium salt to prevent fogging.
Then you fix the photograph with water and sodium thiosulfate.
You know about photography?
Just a few pertinent details.
Okay. Are these different? Over here too. All the photos, line drawings, and paintings show a strong sense of composition and respect. Oh no, same thing. Okay. I think they're all the same no matter what. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're all the same. All the same. Let's see what happens if we hit move on the cat. She evidently doesn't wish to be disturbed. It would be a grave error to do so. That is pretty funny. That's funny. Funny. Okay. I don't think we can do anything else here.
Does the work of a professional photographer appeal to you, Needham?
What would I have to do, Mr. Holmes?
They'd pay you to look at certain things and take pictures with a camera.
Most of what I see I'd rather forget. Would they pay me to forget?
Not for what you've seen, sir. Unfortunately, no one would pay for that. I believe you did quite well, Mr. Needham.
Mr. Hemmings says so. His questions reminded me of things about the gent I'd forgot.
In investigations and life, the right answers are impossible to discover without the right questions.
Nothing. Okay. Watson? You got anything? Got anything?
I believe the young man is a gifted artist, Watson.
You've added the arrow art criticism to your quiver of skills, then?
I know you believe my ideas of art are crude, but I remind you to remember my origins. Art in the blood takes strange forms.
Though not medically attested, certain delusions may also be hereditary.
All right. We're done. I think we are done here. Let's leave. Alright. Let's go back to the telegraph now that we have this mugshot, as we are calling it.
Your advice was inestimable. Hemmings gave individuality to a generic face.
I'm not surprised. He's a marvel.
Okay, let's see this mugshot. There's a mugshot. Can we look at it? With his pencil, Hemmings has provided detail and vivacity to Needman's sketchy description. The artist has a remarkable skill. Let's show it to them.
Ah, yes, he was among my candidates. The beard is new, probably false. He has dark hair. You're moving in consequential circles, Sherlock. Colonel Erich Merlendorf, alias Wachthund, the guard dog. He's Prussian, of course. The facial stain is a distinctively horrible dueling scar. Only a fraction of it shows here. It's huge, and he wears it like an angry mask.
Who is he?
Principal agent and factotum of the German Imperial Chancellor, Otto von Bismarck. Fiercely loyal to his employer's interests and protective of his reputation. A very cold customer. What's he doing in London, I wonder?
No good, I assure you. Is he an official agent of Imperial Germany?
Not exactly. But I've invited an old friend to join us who can address that issue. Given your previous remarks and our shared suspicions, I thought he might be helpful. Is that a problem?
No, I'm grateful. Your discretion and judgment in such matters is unquestioned.
Carter, would you come in, please? Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson, Fairfax Carter, Home Office Attaché.
Okay. Let's look at him. The attaché's hair and sideboards frame his orderly face. A generous mouth and startling light eye animate an unguarded expression. The freedman vouches for his bona fide... That freedman vouches for his bona fide speaks well for him. So, theory... They stole the formula. They wanted money. Pratt discovers they're selling it to the Germans. Pratt wants nothing to do with it. Pratt burns the formula because he doesn't want anything to do with it. They meet at Pratt, meets up with them, says, "I'm sorry, I don't have the formula." They get mad, they kill him. That's my theory. The other thought is he's going to sell the formula, but he doesn't have it with him. They kill him thinking he has the formula, and he doesn't. That's the other thought.
I've heard your name from Mycroft, sir. Friedman has filled you in?
As he was able. Might you put us more in the picture?
No. Mycroft has requested secrecy. I shall respect that. Reputations are at stake. The nation's security, maybe. If I fail, you should know all. If I succeed, you will learn no more than you know now. Can we deal on that basis?
I am not entirely without other sources of information, as I think you know. Your commitment to your brother's cause is commendable.
Okay.
You presumably heard us speaking of Colonel Merlendorf?
I did.
It must be assumed that this Prussian is involved in an operation hostile to British interests. Is it possible he has the Kaiser's blessing and the sanction of the German Imperial government?
I don't believe so. I fervently hope not. He would not risk it. He would not do it.
Your reasons?
The Kaiser is trying to curb the power and influence of his bitter rival, the domineering Imperial Chancellor Otto von Bismarck.
Explain, please.
Wilhelm has been courting favor throughout Europe, separating himself from Bismarck's aggressive policies. Discovery of such an operation would undermine his efforts to establish his own authority. and demolish the progress he has made in repairing Bismarck's damage. Besides, he is currently well disposed toward his mama, the Empress Frederick, who despises the Chancellor. Finally, he would risk the displeasure of his grandmama, Queen Victoria, and his cousins at this critical time.
Okay. I think I need to put a new thing on my sheet here. So we've got my notes here. I can pop up. I think I need to put stuff about. We do actually know who the first murderer was. Pratt. Unknown German man. We now know it is not an unknown German man, but it was what was his name? Colonel. Mollendorf. So we know it was him, and he was working for the oh, I'm confused now. Can't click. Oh, there's. I want to read the journal. Separating himself from Bismarck's aggressive policies, discovery of subsequent operations. So the Kaiser is trying to curb the power and influence the domineering. Okay, so we're talking about the Kaiser. He was working for Kaiser. Okay. Wait. No, wait. No, he wasn't working for the Kaiser. He was working for the Bismarck. He was working for Otto von Bismarck. So I said, is it possible he has the Kaiser's blessing? And he said, I don't believe so. So he would have been working for Otto von Bismarck. Okay, I don't know if that's relevant at all, but I will write it down. Put a question mark there, because we're not sure about that. I'm not sure if it's even relevant, but we'll put it anyway. Alright, let's see what else we got. He was not working for the Kaiser, so he could have been working for the Bismarck. So let's see.
If it's not an official operation, what might the Prussians' motives be?
I cannot say with assurance, but I would hazard that whatever he is doing here is intended to enhance the Chancellor's position with the German military and re-establish his dominance over the Emperor.
I see. Mollendorf is Bismarck's creature, not the Kaiser's.
Exactly.
Okay. So he may be trying to do something like for the Bismarck, but not maybe with his blessing.
Can you help me gain access to the Kaiser? I know he's in London.
I could arrange an interview. The Kaiser, as it happens, is familiar with your name and reputation, but this would be strictly a personal affair. The government must not be suspected of having any official involvement in your inquiry.
That's understood. You'll inform us of a time and place?
I'll send a message to your lodgings.
Nice. Well, that's something. Okay.
What kind of man is the Kaiser?
Not brilliant, but he's keen and energetic. Has the regrettable habit of speaking of himself in the third person. Convinced that he belongs to a distinct order of mankind, designated for monarchy by the grace of God.
And Bismarck wants to put his thumb in the eye of that belief.
Correct. As a boy, he imitated Bismarck as an act of parental defiance. Now he's alarmed the Chancellor by imitating Frederick the Great. In the end, we believe him fundamentally wiser and more progressive than Bismarck. They'll certainly come to blows, and given your inquiry, may have done already.
Alright. I guess that's the end of that conversation. He just walked out the door. See ya! Alright. See if I can talk to them. Alright, so we're gonna get a meeting with apparently the Kaiser, I guess. Maybe to talk about this. I guess. Nothing. Let's talk to Watson.
Friedman's collection of criminalist fiction must hold interest to a devotee such as yourself.
I'm sure it would, were I not colder than a lonely fragment of pack ice. Currently, I can only think of all that paper as combustible fuel.
Watson, your florid accounts of our escapades apparently do have some value after all.
Your gift for delivering a kind word, Holmes, remains unequalled. Mercifully.
Observations, Doctor?
The temperature here is positively glacial. If you are insensible to it, you must count Laplanders among your ancestors.
Done with that for now. Let's leave. Alright, he's gonna send, Also, hey, I just thought about something. I was gonna go home and just maybe wait for a thing, but I bet you we could show, we might be able to show that photograph or drawing to Wiggins.
Wiggins, could this be the man you followed up the Strand?
I'm gonna show him the...
Could be the bloke, Mr. Holmes. You find him then?
Only this picture. He's not naturally fair, and the beard is false.
He's taken a lot of trouble.
He has a lot to lose. You're still on the case, Wiggins. Don't put yourself at risk. If you spot him, return home. There's a guinea for you when I find him.
I'd do most anything for the money, but it's a big city. Do you know anything more about him?
Not at the moment.
There goes Wiggins! Alright. So, I think we followed that lead as far as we can take it. So, where else should we go? We've got other places. He was gonna send word. We could wait for it. We've got some other places we could go, though. Ooh, man. This is quite the game, I must say. There's a lot to unravel here. Where do we want to go? Yeah, so far only one murder has happened, but I'm wondering if more are going to happen. I think in the last game we had like 7... Was it 5 murders and 7 people ultimately would have been killed because 2 would have been hanged? It was a lot of murders on that one. Let's go here. I want to see what's here. I want to see what's here.
Won't be a moment, gentlemen. The sample portraits are my calling cards. Feast your eyes and help yourselves.
I just took something. What did I take? What did I just take? I took a business card. Okay. Cool. The photographer serves that part of society which spends its disposable money on display. New men and women, insecure nobility, entertainers. The last several appointments appear to have been cancelled. No red ink has been used recently. Collodion prints and exquisitely detailed daguerreotypes promote and advertise the photographer's skill. Lord Halliburton's fiancée, who might generously be described as an unkempt virago, or virago, appears quite presentable. An expert might sniff out what is peculiar about her ensemble. Okay. Mirror, vanity, table. Don't know what. Copies of the Strand, Punch, and Lippincotts are tastefully arranged for clients' version. Their conditions suggest they are uniformly ignored. Okay, let's talk to him. I mean, seems like a pretty legit establishment.
Mr. Hargrove, my name is Holmes. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
I never haggle over price. You may check my book for an available sitting.
Thank you, no. I merely require some information.
Mr. Holmes, is it? Information is not my business. I am an artist.
You're too modest, sir. You may know much to my purpose. Do people still sit for daguerreotypes in this day and age?
It's time-consuming, of course, but many of my discerning clients prefer the unique positive image. A daguerreotype is an unreproducible jewel of unmatched clarity.
I saw the portrait you did for my friend, Lord Lawton, and his fiancée.
And you were impressed. They are a handsome couple, are they not? Might I do the same for you and your intended?
Not at the moment. Do you use gold chloride to tone your paper?
Never. My printing out paper is unique, sir. The finest Godin gelatin silver. But instead of chloride, I use another salt. I trust you're not going to become a competitor.
Where do you keep duplicate negatives?
I have no storage facilities.
What if Lady Lockridge were to lose or damage hers?
A truly skillful photographer could achieve something with the positive, but that's beside the point. You had other business with me.
I believe I have seen more of your work, sir.
I'm not surprised. It appears in many of the city's celebrated addresses. Whom have you viewed?
I'm not certain, but the brilliant finish of the paper is reminiscent of your style. Most studios now use the collodion development process, do they not?
They do, and I say let them. I provide choices. My unique collodion technique produces distinctively excellent results which cannot be imitated by any jackass who calls himself a photographer.
Is not all collodion development basically the same? Phenol to reduce, sodium sulfite for control, and the thiosulfate solution to fix.
Excuse my snorting. Your ignorance is common. I won't divulge my methods, but I will say, for example, that cyanide in skilled hands is a better fixative than thiosulfate could ever be.
Your business is thriving in a competitive market. How do you account for your success?
Quality will out. People of taste appreciate my work.
Whom do you honor with red ink?
My memory for minutiae is terrible. Like all great artists, I must write down everything to do with commerce. Forget my own name one day.
You either began this business in infancy or your card contains a printer's error. Surely your studio was not established in 1846.
No, yes, well, not precisely. The public appreciates a business with longevity. I, as it happens, was established on that date in 1846.
I would have thought your clientele would reward a less traditional sensibility. But I'm not in business, am I? Born in a leap year under the sign of Aquarius, were you?
Quite.
I see you are on the national telephone.
This is not an exchange, Mr. Holmes. There is a public instrument in the post office at Marble Arch.
I look at him. I don't know if I actually. The careless knot in the photographer's cravat is intended to convey an artistic inscolience. Cosmetics have enlivened his eyes and improved his complexion. He has taken more care than he might with his luxuriant hair and eyebrows. Okay, I don't know what I can do here, but ooh, I can move them. Movable painted screens, which Hargrove uses as backgrounds, are stacked on the wall. Depicts a placid lake at sunset. Let's see what happens if I attempt to move. The second scene is a colic scene, complete with a lounging shepherdess and her swan. A third reveals a flora and fauna of a fictitious urban park. Okay, and let's look at the camera. Okay, the previous generation used this vintage portrait camera with chemically treated silver plates to create daguerreotypes. Wet glass plates are now standard. An unlit incandescent lamp stands as century. Okay. I don't know what we can do here. Podium, let's look at that. So I know stuff about his process because I think I was at the other place and I was asking about his process, and so I was able to kind of talk the talk with this guy a little bit. This ornately carved mahogany podium sports a leather visitor's book. The photographer may consider the studio a national shrine. Clients appear to ignore the book. No entries have been made in over a month. Okay. Can I do anything else with the appointment book? Can examine. Let's leave. I don't think there's anything we can do here. I've been here? I don't know if I've been here. Let's see what we can do with the Ministry. Go to the Ministry of Defense and see what we get. We got a guy. Let's look at the guy. Man represents a type that will become endemic in the civil service. The public school twit. He drinks too much and has reduced himself to penury, standing endless rounds at his club in a vain attempt to ingratiate himself with his senior colleagues. Okay, let's look at the windows. The leaded windows are inconspicuously barred on the outside. The casements are surrounded by government issue velveteen drapery. I can open the windows. The window can't be opened from this position. It may be swollen or painted shut. Okay. Shelves. Examine. Each shelf is divided into compartments which hold large manila packets. Each packet is bisected by a crimson horizontal stripe on which is recorded its documentary content and the date of filing. The information suggests that filed material are collected by topic. None of the record dates are recent. Look, shelves. Sturdy, hip-height oak shelves line the wall below the window sills and back against some of the reading desks. Okay. We also have the option to climb. The clerk is just like, oh, I see what we're doing. We're trying to see if somebody could have broken in here. From this vantage point, one can see that the windows are flush to the wall, and there is a long, sheer drop to the pavement. Undisturbed coal dust has settled around the blocks. A dozing patron tries to hide a bald spot with a black boot. A boot black. Okay.
If you take another step into the room, you'll be charged with criminal trespass and jailed.
Okay. The walking is a problem.
I'd like a word with Mr. Whitney. Can you help?
I don't keep his social calendar, Mr. Holmes. Only the Queen's business is conducted here. You can't remain.
Do you know where I might find him?
For Chairman Holmes' sake, I'll tell you that Whitney's probably wasting away in his bath. Now please leave.
Okay. I can't do anything here. Alright. Can't do anything here. Okay. Let's look at our clues here. Got Sir Avery, but I don't know where he is. Oh, wait. Is this him? Who is him? Wait. Oh yeah, that is him. His name is Avery. Oh, so this is Sir Avery, right here. Right here. Okay. Why haven't I been here
Fanshawe,
yet?
I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Was I expecting you? Where's that butler? Are you the workman I ordered? I have some fascinating ideas for this foyer.
Hey! What are you doing? Cat. Cat was taking a cord with it. And let's look. The lady masquerades as a debutante, dressed in a hideous crepe gown. She has the carriage of a Palladium theater chorus girl. Possessed only of pretensions, she displays none of the high style to which she aspires. Okay, let's talk to her.
We'd like to speak with Sir Avery, please. Is he available?
I'm not his man Friday. I imagine he's roaming somewhere with Hodgkins. Who knows? It's wrong to ask a lady questions she doesn't know the answers to. Ask me something I know.
That might be difficult.
It's most aggravating. You're certain you haven't come from that charming Sloane Street gallery? I have more brilliant ideas for improving the foyer.
This is him right here. No notes yet. I want to look at this statue. Look at it. A marble copy of the Hellenistic masterpiece, The Death of the Locuun and His Sons, is perhaps not for everyone. The original, now in the Vatican Museum, while a bit smaller, mercifully lacks the travesty's revolting color scheme. Okay, can I talk to her anymore?
If I may ask, why have you painted the architecture and statuary?
Marble is so drab, don't you think? No life to it. My advisor says it's traditional. The Romans painted everything. Or was it the Japanese? Oh, it doesn't matter, I suppose. People from a long time ago.
Nothing. Well, the Fanshaws have been respectable in the city for 2 centuries. The brigand idealized here was a notorious highwayman. Archibald Fanshawe and his band plundered 17th century Yorkshire like voracious locusts. Okay, I can't. There's nothing else. Floor. I can look at the floor. This mosaic was poorly copied from the House of Dogs. At Herculaneum. Would that another Vesuvius could bury this abomination. Apparently, I'm not. The original Apollo is arguably the most celebrated male statue from Greek antiquity. The poor copy is only slightly more ridiculous from its hair and rosy cheeks. Window. The attempt to make a perfectly ordinary wheel window into a scale model of the giant Rosette of Notre Dame has failed miserably. The foyer, formerly flooded with natural light, now seems dim and mold. Let's talk about. Do you have anything to say?
Some sad associations here, Watson. You called it the case of the serrated scalpel, I believe.
Yes, a heart-wrenching business. But in the end, a job well done. The Brumwells are all deceased. I wonder if the staff stayed on.
I doubt it. They were lifetime retainers to the family.
Wait, have I been here?
The Brumwell butler was a trial. Pettigrew, wasn't it?
Pettigrew by name, petulant by nature.
Fine conceit, Doctor. And even better if he's still about.
Have I been here before? Just wondering.
What impression have you formed of the lady's taste, Watson?
She has none. Even the lovely things have been ruined by her excesses. Beauty is wasted on such people.
May I speak with Pettigrew, please?
Pettigrew receives callers on his own time. Sunday afternoons. Use the servants' entrance. Was there something else?
Well, it looks like I'm going back and forth talking.
Lao Kun in colour seems a crude development.
Poor aesthetic judgment aside, the placement of a scale model of this masterpiece in a private foyer is wretchedly excessive.
Watson, please give me your sense of Lady Fanshawe.
She is what I believe the Americans call dizzy.
Well said, whatever it means.
It means confused, flighty, and credulous in the extreme.
That suggests a line of attack. Lady Fanshawe, I must speak with Pettigrew to make delivery arrangements.
You are from that art gallery. I knew it. Oh, I so love a surprise.
This will be a rather large one.
What is it? What is it? Oh, Avery, such a dear. I won't tell him you told.
I mustn't, Lady Fanshawe. I've said too much already. The sooner I speak to Pettigrew, the sooner I can deliver.
Pettigrew, come this instant. Au revoir, gentlemen. I won't say goodbye. Pettigrew!
Okay. Subterfuge. Subterfuge. Let's look at Pettigrew. The late Lord Bromwell's steward. Oh, Lord Bromwell! Oh, yeah. I remember Bromwell. Is now butler to the Fanshaws. His traditional livery has given way to the sort of a pantomime outfit worn by factotums of dubious Middle European monarchies. His mane suggests he did not choose the alteration. Okay.
Do you remember us, Pettigrew?
Try as I might to forget, Mr. Holmes, I do.
Your manners were perhaps lost in the effort. Never mind. Let's avoid a bad start. Is Sir Avery available?
No. Lucky man is rarely about when Lady Fanshawe is, and she's always here.
Is Lady Fanshawe likely to know Sir Avery's whereabouts?
Milady knows very little about anything. In between bouts of redecorating, she entertains the beau monde and makes unreasonable demands on the staff.
But perhaps she pays well?
In truth, she is mean and bloody-minded, and I'm this close to giving notice. Was there something you wanted beyond below stairs, gossip?
Bromwell's butler, I think? So I guess this is, in a way, a sequel. I mean, let's see. He's not at home often. He's not home often. Okay. What else do we... Oh, let's keep talking.
Where does Sir Avery spend his time? Away from the ministry?
I don't know. If that's all, you may leave a card if you wish.
My business is urgent, Pettigrew. One of his colleagues has died horribly.
Death seems to follow you about, Mr. Holmes. A combination of occupational hazard and bad luck, I imagine.
Have your joke, Pettigrew. I'm not the one wearing the clown suit. Please don't allow personal enmity to color your judgment. I need your help.
Helping you, Mr. Holmes, rarely helps me. Have you noticed?
I purposefully kept your name from the Bromwell debacle. I don't say you were an accomplice, but Lestrade believed you had guilty knowledge of your employer's scheme. Do not repay me with animosity. You owe me none.
The sting of Lord Bromwell's demise is still fresh, I apologize. When Sir Avery is not at what he calls his work, he can usually be found snoozing at the Diogenes Club or feeding the birds in St. James Park.
Feeding birds at St. James Park. So but obviously he's not going to be at the Diogenes Club because it's burnt. It is burnt. Okay. Talk more.
Sir Avery is very old to be out alone. Is his attendant called Hodgkins?
Hodgkins is Sir Avery's body servant. Very intimidating party, very dear to the old gentleman. And the feeling is mutual.
Of course. I recall him now. The scourge of the Crimea.
The same. Still wears his campaign badges and hat. Honours and protects them like his patron. Recently disassembled a man in the Aldersgate Underground for having the temerity to ask Sir Avery the time of day.
A cautionary tale, thank you.
Okay, so he's got a bodyguard that is very, I don't know, kind of a, well, I wish I could say thanks for the information, but I can't. Let's talk to Dr. Watson. He has nothing. Nothing. I think that's it. Okay, I got St. James Park. St. James Park. To the park. I assume it's on here. Is that it? No. There's the park. To the park. Once the grounds of a hospital for leprous women, this park was constructed to grace Henry VIII's London Palace. Most days, a significant fraction of its human denizens are servants to Her Majesty's government. So it's a park that's commonly frequented by Wilbur Haywood. Okay. Hurdy-gurdy. This barrel organ evolved from the medieval hurdy-gurdy, a mechanical violin with a wheel and crank attached. The handle turns a cylinder whose pins control the airflow to certain pipes. It can play several tunes. Bench. Let's look at it. Modern design and air casting technology complement one another in these privately financed benches. The back of each is fitted with a oval-shaped brass plaque. Let's see what the plaque says. A plaque denotes the details of a bench donation. In 1880, R.J.P. Arbonaut's siblings dedicated this bench to commemorate the happy years our brother spent here with his friends. Okay. Fred. Is that a monkey? Birdie's clever familiar is an Indian macaque. The Cimmerian's winning disposition and adorable features invite the unwary to ignore his dexterity. The lost items desk at the local precinct is filled with objects that his nimble fingers have prized from the unsuspected. So he's a thief. Bird food. Table. Look at this guy. Known as Birdie by his friends and customers, Mr. Haywood and Fred have entertained passerbyers for most of the 3 decades. He sells avian consumable, basically birdseed, from his cart. For 6 pence, he'll pay a catchly tune. Do I want to buy birdseed? And there's some bird food. Look at the bird food. Birdie purveys 3 grades of bird food: stale breadcrumbs, shucked corn, and luxurious mix of nuts, seed, and suet. Probably want to buy the luxurious mix. Alright, let's talk to him.
Hello, Birdie. Business brisk?
Not so as you'd notice, Mr. Holmes. After government's passed by and trade still stinks, I wager not much of the Queen's work got done today.
I'm sure you're right. Fred in fine form?
As always. More than once I've wished I had his disposition.
Have you spoken with Sir Avery Planshaw recently?
Oh, not in 20 years. He's across the way now at his usual spot. Old fool thinks I ridiculed him. I told him his mixture was too rich for songbirds. Took it as a personal affront. He attracts only pigeons and blames me for it.
There's no reasoning with a man whose passion is thwarted.
Is that the voice of sadder but wiser experience, Watson? Never mind. You're spot on, and it gives me an idea. Let's feed the birds. Give me a mix to draw the best warblers, Mr. Haywood.
For sixpence, Mr. Holmes, I'll guarantee an exaltation of larks.
And then I have to pay. Yeah! Okay. Alright, let's go. No. Where do I want to go now? Where's his usual spot? I don't know where to city. I don't want to go to the city. I want to go to his spot. He's across the way. Did I get the spot from the discussion? Maybe. Where's he at? I'm confused. I think he's here, but I can't. I need to find the way to get to him. Two table trees. Maybe it's. Oh, I hadn't thought about it. Maybe the screen scrolls. No, not scrolling. Maybe it scrolls this way. No? How do I get there? How do I get there? What do I need to do? To city. Trees. Am I missing something? Did I get a new location? He told me where Sir Avery was. Let's talk to him again. I feel like I talked to him again. Maybe I missed a conversation point. I don't know.
Hello, Birdie.
Not
I'm sure.
as all.
No. Must be a place on my map, but I don't. Now I'm confused. I don't think I can... I'm not going to be able to do anything here, but I just want to go here to... I love how he's still guarding it. Okay, no, nothing. See the lake there and everything. New city. Trees. Maybe I have to talk to Watson. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I have to talk to Watson.
Macaques seem remarkably clever creatures. What do you say, Watson?
In India, they're valued for their companionship and intelligence. The sergeant major in my division cared for 2 orphaned brothers. Like children they were, only smarter. But in their playfulness, they can make a world of mischief.
The park's best season is a closely argued issue. Do you have an opinion?
It's a sterile question to me, Holmes. Weather cannot affect the park's true beauty or its inestimable value.
Let me look at the journal. What did he say? Have you spoken with... Not in 20 years. He's across the way now, at his usual spot. Old fool thinks I ridicule him. I told him his... Old fool's across the way now, in his usual spot. Is what I was told. Okay. He told me where he was, but I don't see. I don't know how to get there. Whoops, that's not where I meant to go. Go here. I don't know where to go. I want to talk to him, but I don't have the... I don't seem to have a location on my map to talk to him. Like, he said he was across the way, which to me seems like he's on the other side of this lake. Here. He's... But... Like, I thought I could walk there, but it's not letting me walk there. Oh, there it is. Oh, man. I'm so dumb. I tried that. Okay. It's not a map icon. Okay. Birds. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Okay, we see there he is. There's Sir Avery, and there's Hodgkins. Let's look at Hodgkins. The resolute and dangerous aspects of this robust veterans do not dissemble. His devotion to his master is legendary. More than one man has learned that to disturb Sir Avery's privacy is an invitation to physical abuse. Okay, can we talk to him?
Might I have a word with Sir Avery?
If you're tired of this life, you can try. Be a good lad and push off.
I'll only take a moment.
If you don't want it to be your last, don't linger. Move on now.
Okay. Talk more.
Your dedication to Sir Avery does you credit, but I have official business to discuss.
I'll say this once, slowly. Leave now, and nobody gets hurt. Stay, and you're for the water or worse.
Okay. Well, I have the bird seed, so maybe I should...
They make an unusual pair, do they not, Watson?
If the Queen's retainers are as vigilant as Mr. Hodgkins, she is well served. A poet could describe their relationship better than a policeman.
You recognize something in yourself, Doctor. Devotion to a chosen duty.
Thank you, Holmes.
As advertised, Hodgkins is a menacing brute, and Sir Avery was oblivious.
I hope recent demands have not exhausted your imagination and left us bereft of the means for dealing with him short of force.
Efforts to overpower him would be futile, Watson, but I'm not prepared for failure. I need to capture Sir Avery's interest another way.
Okay, so I'm going to do it with birdseed, but I am going to call it after, let me, hang on.
I believe Hodgkins has the wherewithal to deliver on his threats.
Agreed, and I have no desire to test a contrary hypothesis. You'll have to fabricate a more subtle approach to Sir Avery.
Perhaps I can distract Hodgkins by dividing his devotion in disparate directions.
Sometimes your speech is perfectly opaque, Holmes. I hope your thought is less murky.
Remember what Pettigrew said about the campaign cap? With assistance from more nimble fingers, I might borrow it.
What?
What civil servant or city man wouldn't prefer these surroundings to his office?
None with a modicum of sense and the intelligence to use it.
Okay. I need to use the birdseed. I know what I need to do. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save throwing the birdseed till... So, let me save my game. Use birdseed. Pretty sure that's what I need to do. Get